Declutter regularly. Make decluttering a routine to prevent accumulation. I feel like I've talked about this quite often on my channel. When it comes to decluttering, especially when you have a decent amount of things in your house, the best way to go about it is to create a routine or create a schedule when it comes to decluttering. Say you only have Sundays in the morning to yourself, or free time. Those are the days you want to try to declutter. And don't focus on the entire house, by the way, because that will drive you insane. It's nearly impossible to declutter an entire house in a day unless you don't care about half the things that are in it, then go for it. But I highly suggest you go about with, one room at a time, and try to go through each item before decluttering. That way you're not wasting a ton of money, because if you declutter something that you truly love, say it's this object, say you really like this item, but you've been just decluttering like crazy just to get it done, like you're rushing, and you get rid of the one item that you like. So now you have to go back out and repurchase it, so it's technically a waste of money. And this decluttering regularly goes for those that live in a house or an environment right now that has a lot of things. Obviously, I wouldn't declutter regularly because I don't have a lot of things. I declutter once a year, if that now. But if you live in a house that has a lot of things, especially in the attic or basement or garage, places where you don't normally go to, but you put a lot of items to the side, those are the rooms you want to go through first. 1 in, 1 out rule. When you bring something new in, remove something old. I would do this a lot back in the day. I think it truly helped me when it came to not accumulating a ton of things. So how do I put this in words? For an example, say this shirt rips, it's old, I want to replace it. Instead of like hanging on to this shirt and then going out and buying a new one, I will get rid of this shirt and then go buy a new one. So 1 in and 1 out. And that goes for a lot of things with decluttering, especially broken items, ripped items. If you want to replace it, then get rid of that broken item and replace that item. This also works when you go to the store and you pick up a vase. You really like it, you bring it home. The 1 in and 1 out rule works well with that too. Is you bought something new. Now it's time to declutter something, or donate or get rid of something in your house and put that somewhere else. That way you're not accumulating or constantly accumulating things or material items in your house. Some people like to go shopping every weekend or once a month to grab new things, whether it's thrifting, whether it's regular stores, whether it's Facebook Market, the free section. I know when you see things that are free, us humans tend to gravitate and just grab things that are free. There's a ton of free things in the lobby here in the apartment building I live in all the time, and I do not grab anything we do not need, because I know we'll have to make room up here for certain items, room that we don't have. Be careful with the Facebook Market, with the free section. That's how you can accumulate a lot of things in your house, things that you don't need or never thought of owning. It can be pretty tricky with the free section, not just on Facebook Market, but even like some yard sales have like a free section because they just want to get rid of things. Keep in mind, whatever you bring in the house, try to get rid of or donate the amount of things that you brought in. Say you brought in 5 items, now donate 5 items that you're not using. That way you don't have 10 items, you still have the number 5. I hope that makes sense. Mindful purchases. Consider if an item truly adds value before buying. This is something that I still believe in till this day. I get that question asked a lot when it comes to me going to the stores and how do I stick with a list and not roam around the stores. I will be honest, I am not perfect. There's times I do roam around the stores. I sometimes daydream with certain items, like certain clothing items, certain home items, but I know for a fact the items that I'm looking at and dreaming about are wants, they're not needs. So I know the items that that look cute, or they might look cute in your house or on you, they might not add value. You could pick them up, sure. If you know, people like to say life is short, and you could definitely buy that top, buy that vase, buy those plates. But once when you bring them home, you already have a bunch of tops in your closet. You already have a bunch of plates in your kitchen, and you have a bunch of vases around your house or in your garage that you don't use, but you now added more stuff to your ever-growing collection of things you don't use. So try to only purchase, or just be mindful of what you're bringing in the house regarding what adds value when it comes to material items. This is what helps me stay on track, not only with the amount of things we have in our house, but it helps me stay on track with my money as well. Things are tough these days. I'm sure a lot of you are feeling it with inflation, with mortgage rates going up, rent going up constantly. Everything is at an all-time high, and our pay is either the same or it's lower. So we have to work 10 times harder to pay for the life that we're all living in order to stay ahead of the game. So be mindful how you're spending your money, your hard-earned money. It is harder now than ever to make money and save money. So why spend it on things you don't need? Digital declutter. Regularly organize and delete unnecessary files. I will say, when it comes to my laptop, it's actually beside me right now because I've been working today. When it comes to my laptop, I go through the files on my external hard drive once a month, make sure all the old videos are out of it, any other photos that I want in that hard drive, duplicate photos. I just take everything out, clean my email, things like that. Because I do have my Gmail hooked up to my laptop. But when it comes to my phone, this is something that I go through every night before bed. It takes less than 5 minutes, and I'll go through the photos, I'll go through the text messages, calls, I'll clear out the Safari, I will clear out my email with iCloud with my phone, and just have a nice fresh phone for tomorrow. So digital decluttering is something you don't want to forget, because these are tech devices, and unfortunately these things don't last forever, but to make them last longer, you have to take care of them. So clean them out, declutter things you don't need from your laptop and your phone or your iPad, whatever tech gadgets you're using. Delete the things you do not use. Storage solutions. Invest in storage that promotes organization, not hoarding. We have all seen every influencer become obsessed with organizing little drawers and stuff like that recently. It's becoming a problem. I'm noticing that people are taking like their chapsticks out of the package and then putting them in another package. Certain items is okay. Like, I totally get how cereal bags are annoying and you want to pour the cereal in a different container, like a nice tight container, so you don't get any ants or other bugs. I totally get that. I grew up with bugs in our apartment my whole life, and it sucks because the ants go towards things that are in bags. They're very smart insects, and that's where they go first, especially sugar bags. Ants love sugar, things like that. So I totally get with certain food items, but it gets a little tricky when it comes to like a tissue box holder, when tissues already come in a box. I know it's not the whole aesthetically pleasing look, but it's cardboard. You're not gonna keep it forever. There's so many other organizing products you don't need that can create clutter in the long run. I don't want to name them all. I don't want to go on a rant here, but if you guys want a separate video when it comes to, or maybe I could talk about it in a vlog, when it comes to the organizing products you need and the organizing products that are a total waste of money. When it comes to storage solutions, some of them add value and some of them do not. Some of them are the actual opposite. Some of them just look cute, and that's a form of clutter. Clutter you don't need. Well, a form of hoarding, I should say, that you don't really need. I've known quite a few people that will buy a bunch of organizers and never use them, and they're just in the cubby, and they'll keep buying more because they're cute and they're in and you need them, when in reality no one really needs the amount of organization things that are out right now. No one needs all of them. Quality over quantity. Choose well-made items with lasting value. when it comes to purchasing or when it comes to understanding quality over quantity, hear me out. I have been wanting a new headboard and frame for the longest time. I want real wood, like an oak light color headboard and frame. The reason why I want real wood is because I know that it is going to last. It might outlive me. If you guys ever see like those wooden bureaus or wooden tables and nightstands, those things from the 90s are still around to this day, even the 80s. That goes to show, well, that showed me that wood items, certain wood items last a long time. So not to get off topic here, but I would love to have like a real wood headboard and real wood frame, but it's just not the right time right now for me to go out there and either get in debt with buying the high quality headboard and frame, or I could definitely go the cheap route and go to IKEA. Not to knock IKEA down, but their items don't last as long. Certain items there don't last long. I know some people are gonna come for me with this because I know there's a lot of IKEA lovers. I do like IKEA, but their items don't last long. I've had quite a few IKEA items and I give it like 2 years and it breaks. And that's with me taking care of my items. So yes, I could totally have a knockoff version of what I'm looking for when it comes to the headboard and frame and like that fake oak wood looking vibe. But I'm not getting my full money's worth, even though it's cheap. I know I'll have to replace it eventually, so why not just wait until I can afford the real deal? And that's the same thing I'm doing when it comes to clothes. You guys see me wearing the same clothes all the time. I wear sweatshirts, I wear leggings. Off camera, I will wear a tank top and sweater. I don't feel comfortable wearing tank tops on camera because my breasts are pretty big. But off camera, I do have other clothes as well. But on camera, you guys always see me wearing the same things, and I'm just holding on to the clothes that I own because eventually I would like to upgrade my clothes to a more higher quality clothing company or clothing pieces, certain clothing pieces. I used to think that paying $60 to $100 for a top or more was outrageous, but now I understand that certain brands or certain material is worth that price because it lasts a lot longer and you're getting your money's worth instead of buying a cheap t-shirt that will give you, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, maybe less depending how you take care of it, and the wear and tear from the washer and dryer. That cheap t-shirt you'll have to replace over and over again, and by the time you add up the money with the amount of cheap t-shirts you paid for over the years, it probably comes out to the same amount of money you would spend on a high quality item that you wouldn't have to replace for the next, I don't know, 10 to 20 years. So quality over quantity, I'm a huge believer of it, more now than ever. And this is something where it can help you not have clutter in your house, because when you pay more for something, you take care of it more. Well, I like to think you do. For a little example before I go, the camera that I'm filming on, this is my DSLR camera. This camera was $600. I paid for it back in 2018. This is my vlog camera, the Canon G7X. This was also $600. I paid for this in 2021. I still have both of these cameras, the 2018 camera, 2021. You see a lot of influencers or YouTubers in general, like switching out their cameras, breaking their cameras constantly. I've seen so many like vloggers break these cameras and I'm like, how? I was using this quite often last year and I did not break it at all. I will say the one thing that's flimsy is the little like, I want to say bolts over here. That is a little flimsy, but I'm very gentle with my items, especially when I pay a lot of money like these two cameras are. Like $600 for a camera is a lot of money to me. Same thing goes for my car. When I bought my car, I bought it in cash, and I take extremely good care of that car because I don't want to replace it for a long time, knock on wood. So I do take care of all of my things. I've learned the value of $1, especially when it comes to purchasing expensive items. So these are things that I don't want to replace, or I don't plan on replacing until they completely break. So in order for me to keep things like in order and keeping them nice and, I don't know, working well. I don't know how to explain this, but I always have cases. I have screen protectors on the viewfinder. I have these hard shell cases. Same thing goes for this camera. I have a case. My mic has a case. I'm constantly taking care of the things that I paid a lot of money for, and even the things that I didn't pay a lot of money for, such as my highlighters and my pencils and stuff. I keep it all in a nice case because I've learned the value of $1. When you spend more on certain items like this, like big ticket items, you start to take care of them a lot more than when you would spend, say, you spend $5 on this sweatshirt, but then you spend $100 on the same sweatshirt but better material. You're probably going to take care of that $100 sweatshirt a lot better than the $5 one because you spent a decent amount of money and you probably don't want to repeat that again. This is just something that has completely changed my mindset when it comes to how much money I spend on certain items, and it just makes you think. So cheaper doesn't always mean amazing, and sometimes expensive doesn't always mean amazing too. You have to do your research on both factors. Hopefully I didn't confuse you with that, you guys, but look more into quality over quantity. Dive deep into your favorite items, and that will answer your question on whether you should purchase this item or not. So you can have like less clutter in your house and you can have more money in your bank account. On that note, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will catch you in the next one.